Zen late night snack. Good evening, everybody. Tommy, Almost Zen TV. Another edition of Late Night Snack. It's late, and again, I did not check the time. What's wrong with me? 10 something. Late for me. Today, milk, whole milk, gingerbread cookies. Gingerbread cookies, baby. Okay. Gonna have some order to this. I have the sushi, the table that looks like a sushi plate table. And I'm doing this because I want to talk about the Zen of eating. Whenever you go to like a sushi restaurant, they put them on the rectangle, kind of long plates. The sushi's there, very minimal and simplistic, and it's very calming to eat. There's no way you can be like anxiety ridden at a sushi restaurant. I don't think anyway. Also, the low lighting helps a lot of those places calm you down, but the presentation is Zen, calms your mind. So when they lay out a table like this, there's something about that. I'm not saying you should do that with every single thing you do. I like to, I do sometimes, I don't other times, but it is something that definitely calms me down and relaxes me, and I'll eat slower. And another thing I do, and you might want to try, see how it works for you, is lining up your shoes. There's order in that when you come in the house, and there's now for women who have like 62 pairs of boots, 22 running shoes, and a couple winter, rain boots all over the place, that might not be able to work. But don't you have most of them put aside in the closet? Not the ones you use constantly every day. I have a couple. I'm not going to pull them out right now, but they're a couple. They're lined up, and it's relaxing. You take them off, you put them there. Right away, when you step into the house, you're in a sense of calm and order. I like that. Laying out the food like that, you might say that's a little neurotic, that's a bridge too far. You don't have to do it. I like it, it's calming. I don't do it with everything. I'm not taking pieces of chicken and laying them on my plate and laying peas across the row in a line. I'm talking about just things that there's a couple of that you're gonna have. You don't have to do it like this. You could eat these out of a bowl. This is not no rule. I'm just stating things in general. When they're lined up, could be cookies, could be sushi, could be your shoes. Now, if you were at a cookie place, a Japanese cookie place, they might bring your cookies out like that. And again, not saying to do this with all your food. That's a little crazy. I'm saying isn't there some kind of calm to that? I like it. I like it. And then you can just eat one. So let's try it out. Well, moist, chewy, gingery. Now you eat it out of this just as fine, yeah. But I think, and I don't know if I'm right, and I'm not trying to be an authority on this. I'm just a guy. I only know what I know. I think you'll eat slower when things are orderly and calm. Your room could be a mess. Your brain's going to be a mess. I talked about it in a recent video. So I want to talk about it more like with other things that can also calm you, that you would actually put in somewhere in an orderly fashion. Shoes is a good one to start with. How about your underwear drawer, t-shirt drawer, all neat. Have them all folded up. I'll have to show you one day. I like 50 white t-shirts. Just 50 white t-shirts. Most of the time, it's 99% of the time, the cutoffs are for inside. Short sleeves, long sleeves for outside. They're in there, they're lined up orderly, they're nice, I grab them. Again, you say OCD, I say almost Zen. So I don't do it all the time. I try to do it with everything. And once I get to that point where I found a way to make everything a peaceful, simple, orderly way, I think I'll make better decisions and be calmer and be happier. And I'm working on the room in there, and that's taking a while because I need things to be right. So things have come, they've been broken. Things weren't what they look like, they had to be returned, and that's taking a while. And I want things orderly. The pictures on the wall, everything. There's a sense of calm with that. Like I said, there's a thin line, I'm sure, between OCD and Zen. And I never really tackled it. But isn't it a thing? Like, someone's Zen is another person's obsessive compulsive disorder, right? You could come in to someone's house and everything's neat and perfectly, and you could either look at it as, boy, this guy's like, is he some neat freak, some weird OCD guy? Or someone else will look at that and say, oh, this guy, it's a very tranquil, calming, orderly Zen place. How do you see it? Zen or OCD? How do you see that? Now, OCD would be having to, I hope you could see these, would be having to have one bite each time. You'd have to go, okay. And then the next one, you'd have to take a bite. That's a little more OCD. This is more just Zen and orderly. Now, if you have to take a shower 2 times a day, OCD. If you're taking a shower 2 times a day because you've been sweating, it's just good hygiene. I don't know how that relates to the cookie analogy, but I just thought about it. Okay. But yeah, something nice like that, like a sushi restaurant is a perfect example of that calm. And no one's thinking that they're like OCD, these guys, you know? I'm going to drive the OCD people that are watching this crazy. When they're like, he's got to take another bite. He's got to take a bite out of that one too. No. I haven't drank this milk yet. Here's my thing with milk. I've liked it since I was a kid, ice cold. And that allure as I get older, even though I like things like oat milk or whatever, because it's, you know, clean and pure, no sugar in them, still have that bloodlust for really cold milk. But it goes, like, you got to put it in the back of the fridge. If you put it in the front, it starts to go off pretty fast, and I can never get through the gallon. I like to alternate whole milk, oat milk, whole milk, oat milk. And it always smells off when you smell it while it's in the container. Once you pour it into the cup, not so much. I think this one's fine. I would have noticed right away. All right, to help a few of you people out that are flipping out, I'm going to, and yes, this is clean. How dare you, you monsters. I like clean. Zen late night snack, huh? OCD vs. Zen edition. But it can be kind of, you know, confused with each other. Just never thought about that till now. They are in the same family. But like I said, there's that OCD next level, you know. Lining up your cookies, that's probably leaning towards OCD. I was using it as an example, but it does look calming. Now, if you had a nice plate and you just put your cookies down on it, just because it looks nice, and you're like, oh, I just like putting them down like that. That's not OCD. You just like the way it looks. Now, if some people have to do that and then take bite, that's OCD. a fine line, my friends. I like the way it looks. Like when I was younger, I would eat my meals at the kitchen table with my family, and I would, if say we had liver, yes, that's what we had a lot. My mom would, because hey, liver, it was cheap meat, and we'd eat liver. We didn't like it. She would tell us it was steak, that we were making steak. How dumb could we have been? And would fool us a few times. I remember being fooled, even though the smell is very different. We're having steak tonight, and then right off the bat, before we even get to dinner time, you're thinking steak and a steak. But say it's liver. After I learned it was steak, peas, and mashed potatoes. This is an OCD, but I had to do it every time because I wanted the flavor. So I would take mashed potato pile right there. I'd put a bunch of peas in there, cut up a bunch of the meat, put it in there, mix it all together. And every time then I used a spoon, took a spoon, and I want a little bit of everything in each bite. Now, to some, that could be OCD. That could also be the yin yang of order and chaos. They're all thrown in there, but there's order in it. You're getting one of each. You're getting the balanced taste of all three. Then you could say, well, Zen, OCD would be having to have the peas, then having a scoop of the mashed potatoes, then having a piece of the liver. And also that could be considered Zen. I'm going to take that. A little of the peas, sit, relax, a little bit of that. So it's all kind of, a dealer's choice there. How you look at it, right? I mean, anything can be looked at that's orderly that way. Look at him lining up his shoes like that. This guy got like some disorder here. Now, a disorder, if you kick the person's shoes and they were lined up, you walk, not kick them, go up and just kick the man's shoes. That's not right. I'm saying, say you're walking past and you knock into him by mistake and move him. And if that guy has to run over and move him right back, OCD probably, And has to maybe touch them all. Hey, and I'm not knocking the people who have OCD. I have partial things that I consider just perfectionist maneuvers, perfectionist techniques, or whatever the word is. I'm not making fun of those people. That's something they need to do, and it makes them feel comfortable to have it that way, and it ain't hurting anybody. But yeah, I would do that with the dinner, and I always felt calm with that. Like, put the piece here, put that, put together, and then I had this nice all-in-one, simplistic, everything in one, to make it as simple as can be. And order, to me, that was orderly. It also could be orderly doing the other one. Everything has its own separate thing. You separate them. Now, some people are just monsters. They're just heathens, and they're just blah, 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 blah. I do that now. A lot of times, most times, I like to put everything in a bowl. Anyway, so if I'll make, oh boy, say steak and potatoes or something, and anything, rice, whatever it is, I just put them in a bowl, mix them all together, and I just eat it. You don't have to do I don't remember having a lot of bowls growing up. We were doing everything in the plates. That was the whole thing, plates. I was doing plates. You didn't do bowls except for cereal. I don't know where I had that. Pasta's on the plates. Everything's on the plates. I don't really do that anymore. Everything gets diced up, put in with the thing together, and then in a bowl. So out of potatoes, chop them up, put them in there. Everything into the bowl and into a nice, to me, that's where the Zen is in that. The order, the calm. Everything there, I get all the taste. But back to late night snack talk. How many of you guys and gals eat a late night snack like every night? Like, meaning, when I say late night snack, I'm not talking about, like, say you go to bed at 10, you eat dinner at 6, and you have something at 8. I'm talking about late, 10 p.m. or later. You're up, or you fell asleep, got up, you couldn't sleep, so you ate something. How many of you do that every night? It's such a calming thing. I said in the first one, you should do it every day. Back in the old days, people would have men would separate from the wife, not literally like relationship wise, but separate into another room. I'm using some bad choice of words here. They would veer off into different rooms, say in the 40s or 50s. The lady would read maybe, or do her little knitting, maybe play cards with the gals from the neighborhood. Or if it was just her, but the guy would retreat to the den, a cigar, a pipe, a newspaper, magazine, book, blah, blah, blah. Maybe a little drink, a little drinky poo. Relaxing night. And it was something they probably do every night. Nope, it's time for his drink, time for his drink. People in my family every night would have grandparents would have a little piece of cake, and then something with it on the side. Just these routines at night to wind you down. Nightcaps, they would call the men drinking. The women, they call that. Probably the same thing. But that was a normal thing. I don't know if it's done much anymore. The way the world is now, and with the internet and 24/7, and the times of the day and the clocks that people run on, way different. So it's not the usual, people get up at 6, 7, go to work 9 to 5, do this, blah, blah, blah. By 10, 11, they're in bed. And people didn't really stray from that a lot. If you went out on the streets, and it still applies today, but even more so, say in the 30s or 40s or 30s, you went out at midnight and there's people on the streets, they're up to no good. You're usually at home having a nightcap, you're having a little glass of scotch or knitting something. And those are calming to me, man. There's nothing like that. You sit back, the light is low in the room, and once I get in there and we do the late night snacks, the lighting's going to be nice. Like I said, I want to finish the snack and then chill for a bit. I'm really taking long with these. I'm probably going to do 2. How's that for even now? Almost exactly. I'm doing it for you guys, for the OCD. You guys should have your snack along with me. When you see a late night snack video pop up, and I got a playlist for it, do your snack with me and tell me what your snack is, please. I've had a couple people tell me the snacks, and I'm going to use them. Don't worry about that. I got them written down. When people give me a snack that's pretty unique, if it's common, I'll do it anyway too, because it's common and I'll end up doing it. I have enough snacks to go for another year, which means many of them will be expired by the time I get to them. Nothing new here. Put it in the comments. I'm going to do it. One of them was a pizza from Caravan. A lot of crazy stuff on there. I'm doing that one. I'm going to do it. Make it myself. I've had some unique ones come in, and I'm going to do them, and it's fun. And I do want them to have a more of a Zen vibe than they are. I want you to watch it and be calm and mesmerized. Like I'm hypnotizing you, and I can make you do whatever I want. So you're hypnotized now, you're calm. Comment on the video, like it, subscribe to the channel. Yeah. That's what late night snack does. It calms you enough to subscribe to my channel. Ice cold milk. I used to love it with the ice off the top of it. I put it in the fridge. I put it in the freezer a little while before I would have it. And that, I think that goes for anything. That's the whole point of like ices and slushies, is something tastes better icy to a lot of people, and milk's no different. Orange juice would be incredible that way. You know. Good stuff though. Cookies are good. It's clean. Stop it. It's clean. Let me do a little housekeeping here about the channel. If you're watching this the day after it gets put up, you'll see the stuff I'm talking about in the future. If you're watching obviously a later date, just check the archives, you'll see. I've been doing morning Zen recently, but I'm going to tweak it to morning shot of Zen. I'm going to start the mornings with a little talk about something to, a little thought, maybe a Zen koan that we kind of mull over, something for the day, something like the thing I talked about today, which is maybe try lining up your shoes to create a little order in your mind. It's very calming to know your shoes are neat at the entrance of the house. That might bleed into the other things. We'll talk about those kind of things with a drink, whether it's tea, coffee, green juice, which is mostly what it's going to be a lot, maybe orange juice, but a lot of green drinks. And I want to call it morning shot of Zen because I was going to do it in like a little Mason shot thing. And I thought, because then I could give a little quick blast, but I could do that on the shorts. I'm going to do a shorter version on the shorts here and there. But the morning shot of Zen be a little nice little morning pick-me-up thing. And yeah, so that's what's coming. And more late night snacks and other videos for your enjoyment. Meditation stuff coming up soon. I'm going to be reading through some books on Zen or meditation that are kind of entertaining stuff, and some things you wouldn't. I'm not going to sit and read dry, Alan Watts' The Way of Zen. I'm not going to read dry scholarly things. I'm not saying he's dry, but I'm not going to read things like that, where people are going to be like, well, this is boring. More little ASMR Zen nightly chats in the new room with a vibe to it that matches up with the book and all things, and try to, story time with almost Zen, Zen story time. I think that'll be fun. I have some fun ones planned. Like, I have some books I'll read little passages from that I might probably going to do a video on, as books with Zen in them that you wouldn't expect to have Zen in them. That will not be the title, by the way, because that's ridiculous. Imagine that. Books with Zen in them that aren't actually about Zen. That might be the topic for a video to never get into the YouTube algorithm. But I have that, and then I'm going to read through some other ones and all sorts of fun stuff. And I want it to be, the main thing I want it to be is, like I said, food Zen life. I want you to be able to watch it, be relaxed, and get something from it, and go, hey, when I watch the videos, I feel calm. Maybe he's making me laugh a little bit. I like to be, unlike a lot of the YouTube comments, I'm not knocking people on here. I'm just stating a fact. A lot of the people who speak about the topics, it's new age Zen things, but it's too much navel gazing, too serious and coming from on high, which I don't like. It's like the people will then tell you like this is fact, and there's no, it feels like robotic. I don't know the people. Not that we need to know the people. Maybe they just need to give us information, but I want to feel like it's a real person, and they can mess up saying something, and they can have a thought take 8 seconds to come into their head before they say it. That's okay. You don't have to be so scripted. But I want that to be the hallmark of this. It's a regular guy talking about this stuff, just as broken as you are. But I have an idea of how I want to feel every day and what I want to get out of life, because it's a short ride. So I just want to have a little calm, a little peace. I need a little food, a lot of food, and drinks too. And I want you guys there for it. I think it'll be fun. I think we'll have a good time if you subscribe, and we just, because there's going to be a flow at some point. It'll be mornings, morning Zen, late night snack, morning Zen. We kind of bookend the day and the night. We start the day with, you know, some inspiring stuff, hopefully, and then finish the night in reflection and chilling. How'd it go today? I want to talk more about my journey and how I'm failing or succeeding at the things. Meditation is one I'm going to start focusing on. I want to talk about that. Again, one of the a couple great followers here have discussed that, and in one of the comments, and I want to dive more into meditation, because it's I found success in that. But discipline, baby, discipline. It ain't there for me all the time. But the discipline's there with the channel. I'm putting the videos up constantly, and that's keeping me honest here and keeping me, you know, on point for you guys. I didn't expect to be making them every day. The morning shot of Zen will be every day. Now you say, oh man, you're going to run out of stuff to say. See, that's the thing. I'm going to turn it on and talk, and I hope people aren't expecting something like, oh man, this is going to be incredible. Because some days the thought's going to come right when I turn it on. And some days I'll be like, this is what I want to talk about. I wrote it down. Let me get to it right away. I don't want it to sit too long. And other times, it's going to be when I wake up that morning, what pops into my head for the day that I want to be the driving idea, or something I want to fix, you know? And I'll talk about that right fresh, like a fresh baked cookie, right in the video. So it's the thoughts are coming clean and pure. And hopefully you get something out of them. But they'll be going up every day, starting with, you know, 2 days after this. I'm going to take a break tomorrow after this. I don't know why I'm telling you this. You people are not going to see it right at the time I'm recording it, but I'm not going to record every single day. But it's going to be like minimum 5 to 6, like, because it's going to be at least one late night snack a week. I want to do the 5 morning shot of Zen Monday through Friday, record some late night snacks any couple times during that week, and then put them up. So yeah. And I keep promising you it's going to have more of a late night snack feel when I start the studio space. And yeah, so I'm going to wrap this up. And for the 30th time, I'm going to turn this off, and something profound or perfect for this video will have popped into my head. And I will then struggle with not releasing that video and then recording another one, which I never end up doing, because that's cuckoo time. I can't do that. All right, everybody. I have the camera flipped that way, where I can see the back of the camera, not the screen, so I can get better quality. And I have no idea, even though I did test at a time, if my head is actually in view. I tested it, but I can't be sure. Yeah, I have a feeling you couldn't see me, even though I tested it. All right, guys, thanks for watching another edition of Late Night Snack. Gingerbread cookie and whole milk, not spoiled edition. Zen and OCD. Maybe I'll put that in the title, since that's kind of a little topic we're talking about. Order and chaos, putting your shoes in a line, going to have a drink in another room like it's the 1940s while your wife's knitting, all that stuff. Thanks for watching. I'm Tommy from Almost Zen TV YouTube channel. This has been Late Night Snack, Zen style. Bye-bye.